Hello everyone, welcome to the YouTube channel of Chameli Devi Institute of Pharmacy, Indore. So today we are going to discuss Pharmaceutical Incompatibilities Part 2. In previous video, that is Pharmaceutical Incompatibilities Part 1, we have discussed introduction about incompatibilities, including definition and type of incompatibilities and brief introduction about physical incompatibilities. So in this video, that is Pharmaceutical Incompatibility Part 2, we will discuss especially chemical incompatibility and therapeutic incompatibility. So let's get started. Okay, so before starting the chemical incompatibility, let's recall the definition of incompatibility. So incompatibility is defined as when we mix two or more substances, so they form undesirable product which may affect safety, efficacy and appearance of pharmaceutical product. So now what is the chemical incompatibility? So chemical incompatibility may be defined as a result of chemical interaction between the ingredients of prescription and a toxic or inactive product may be formed. So chemical incompatibility may be occur when reaction between two or more substances which leads to change in chemical property of pharmaceutical dosage form. As a result of this, a toxic or inactive product may be formed. So while dispensing such preparation, precautions should be taken either to prevent the formation of harmful product or correct them, and the prescriber must be informed in this regard. So chemical incompatibilities occur due to chemical properties of drug and additive like pH change, oxidation reduction reactions, acid base hydrolysis and double decomposition, or by explosion. So the prescription having chemical incompatibility should be dispensed only after its correction by the prescriber. Reaction involved in chemical incompatibilities are precipitation, effervescence, decomposition, color change and explosion. These type of sign may be noticed, or these type of reaction may be noticed when chemical incompatibility occur during prescription. Now the chemical incompatibilities can be classified into two parts on the basis of chemical interaction. So first is tolerated incompatibility and second is adjusted incompatibility. So in tolerated incompatibilities, the chemical interaction can be minimized by changing the order of mixing or mixing the solution in dilute form, but no alteration is made in the formulation. So we can tolerate these incompatibilities without changing or without substitute or addition or omission of ingredient or additives. So no alteration is made in the formulation in these incompatibilities, which is tolerated incompatibilities. Next is adjusted incompatibilities. So in adjusted incompatibilities, change in the formulation is needed with a compound having equal therapeutic value. So this type of incompatibility can be adjusted by adding or substitution with other ingredient or drug which have equal therapeutic value. So in adjusted incompatibilities, the chemical interaction can be prevented by adding or substitution of one of the reacting ingredient of a prescription with another which have equal therapeutic value. So example of this adjusted incompatibility is caffeine citrate can be substituted with caffeine in sodium salicylate and caffeine citrate mixture. Based on the prescriber, chemical incompatibility can be classified into two classes. First is intentional and second is unintentional. So in intentional incompatibility occur when the prescriber knowingly prescribe the incompatible drug, and unintentional incompatibility occur when the prescriber prescribe drugs without knowing that there is incompatibility between the prescribed drug. So in intentional incompatibility, prescriber prescribed incompatible drug intentionally, and unintentionally, so prescriber prescribed drug without any intention that there is incompatibility the prescribed drugs. Okay, so now precipitate yielding interaction. As we discussed earlier slide, that precipitation is one of the reaction which involve in incompatibility reaction. So reaction between strong solution proceed at faster rate and precipitate formed are thick, which do not diffuse radially. So the precipitate formed may be diffusible or indiffusible. So diffusible precipitate is insoluble in water but easily bettable after shaking, and indiffusible solids do not remain distributed in dispersion medium or solvent when even shaking for longer period of time. So for making a uniform mixture of preparation and to dissolve precipitate, there is two methods are followed. First is method A and method B, followed in dispensing the prescription yielding diffusible and indiffusible precipitate respectively. So method A is used for diffusible solid and method B is used for indiffusible solid. So in method A, following steps are involved. So first step is, this method is suitable for diffusible solid or diffusible precipitate. Following steps are carried out. So firstly, divide the vehicle into two proportions. So divide the solvent in two equal parts and dissolve the reactant in separate portion and mix the two portion of by slowly adding one into other with. So in this step, dissolve one of the reacting substance in one of the portion and other in the other portion. So mix the two portion by slowly adding one portion to the other by rapid stirring. Now after the method A, method B is used for when indiffusible precipitate occur in large quantity. So following steps are carried out. First is divide the vehicle into two proportions. So this step is similar to method A. So divide the solvent or vehicle into two equal proportion and then dissolve the one of the reacting substance in one proportion. So these two steps are similar to method A, and next step which is different. So weigh a suitable quantity of tragacanth powder, that is 2 gram per 100 ml of preparation of finished product, and transfer it into mortar pestle and then add second portion of vehicle and triturate until a smooth mucilage is produced. Then add and dissolve the other reacting substance to the mucilage. Then add and mix the two proportion, that is solution of first reactant to the mucilage slowly by constant stirring. Then for the dispensing, shake valve before use or shake bottle before use label should be fixed on the container whenever method A or method B is followed. So these two methods, method A and method B, is used for rectification of chemical incompatibility. For example, chemical incompatibility will occur when alkaloidal salt with alkane substance are prescribed in the formulation. So alkaloids are weak base and almost insoluble in water, but alkaloidal salt are soluble in water. So if these salts are dispensed with alkaline preparation such as strong ammonium solution or acetate, ammonium acetate, ammonium bicarbonate or aromatic spirit of ammonia, so the free alkaloid may be precipitate. So however, they are not always precipitate because all alkaloids are slightly soluble in water, but when they get precipitate, hence it precipitate as diffusible solid. So method A is used for rectification of this type of incompatibility in this case. Similarly, when alkaloidal salt prescribed with soluble iodide, so in this case potassium iodide is generally prescribed as an expectorant along with tincture of ipecac containing emetin activity. So the quantity of emetin present is usually so low that it cannot react with potassium iodide and to get precipitate as hydroiodide. So this precipitate is diffusible precipitate. So this incompatibility rectify with the method A. So example of method V is alkaloidal salt with salicylate. So when quinine compound are combined with salicylate, quinine is an alkaloidal salt, it form indiffusible precipitate of quinine salicylate. So therefore follow method B for precipitating yielding combination. And the next example is soluble salicylate and benzoate with acid. So most of acid and acid syrup such as syrup lemon decompose sodium salicylate as well as sodium benzoate to form precipitate of salicylic acid and benzoic acid respectively. So these precipitated are indiffusible in nature, so follow method B for precipitate yielding interaction. Now after chemical incompatibility, the third incompatibility is therapeutic incompatibility. So therapeutic incompatibility may be defined as result of prescribing certain drug to a patient with the intention to produce a specific degree of pharmacological action, but the nature or intensity of the action produced is different from that intended by prescriber. So in therapeutic incompatibility, when prescriber prescribe the certain drugs, so change occur in their therapeutic value, so the incompatibility is called therapeutic incompatibility, which is not intended by the prescriber. So these occur due to the following reason, or therapeutic incompatibility can occur due to following reason. So first reason is error in doses, next is wrong doses form, and third is contraindicated drug, and next is synergistic and antagonistic drug, and the last one is drug interaction. So these reasons we will discuss one by one in detail. Now the first reason behind the therapeutic incompatibility is error in doses. So error in doses means error in the strength of drug or quantity of drug, either overdose or underdose. Many therapeutic incompatibilities result from error in writing or interpreting the prescription order. So the most serious type of the dosage error in this dispensing is overdose of medication, because In case of overdose, drug cannot easily withdraw from the body of patient, so overdose can be dangerous. So the example of this type of error in doses is atropine sulfate capsule. So in this prescription, the quantity of atropine sulfate in each capsule is more than its minimum recommended dose, and the recommended dose for atropine in each capsule is 0.25 to 2 milligram, while in this prescription the quantity of atropine sulfate is 0.005 gram or 5 milligram, which is more than its recommended limit. So the prescription is referred back to the prescriber to correct the overdose of atropine sulfate. Now the next reason behind the therapeutic incompatibility is wrong dosage form. So there are certain drugs which have quite similar name, and there is always a danger of dispensing the wrong drug. For example, prednisone and prednisolone. So the pronunciation almost same, while prescription received on phone, and digitoxin and digoxin. So the abbreviation of these drugs can be also similar, like DIG dot or PRED dot. So pharmacist can be confused and may be prescribed wrong doses form, so it can be dangerous. Sometimes many drugs are available in different dosage form, and hence if the dosage form is not clearly mentioned on the prescription, so it becomes necessary to seek clarification from the prescriber. So pharmacists should not assume any dosage form and should be clarify with senior pharmacist or prescriber. And the third reason behind the therapeutic incompatibilities is contraindicated drug. So there are certain drugs which may be contraindicated in a particular disease or a particular patient who is allergic to it. So the example of contraindicated drug with patient having allergy, so some patient having allergy with penicillin and sulfur drug, so they are contraindicated in those allergic patient. And the next example of contraindicated drug, that is barbiturates and morphine, should not be given to the asthmatic patient. Similarly, some vasoconstriction drug are contraindicated in hypertensive patient. The next reason behind the therapeutic incompatibility is synergistic and antagonistic drug. So many drugs exhibit synergism and antagonism when administered in combination. When two drugs are prescribed together, they tend to increase the activity of each other, which is known as synergism. And when two drugs are prescribed together, they tend to decrease the activity of each other, is known as antagonism. So in synergism, when we prescribe two drugs together, so the therapeutic effect of both drugs is more than individual drugs. And in antagonism, when we prescribe drug together, so therapeutic activity decreases, is called antagonism. Example of synergism is combination of aspirin and paracetamol increases the activity, which is analgesic activity, and amphetamine show its antagonist effect with barbiturates. So in first example, aspirin and paracetamol both having analgesic activity, and when we combine prescribe together, so analgesic activity more than individual. And in second case, which is antagonism case. So amphetamine is CNS stimulant, while barbiturates act on CNS suppressant. So these drugs are antagonistic with each other. So there are certain drugs which, when prescribed, may lead to disastrous consequences. So the prescription should be referred back to the prescriber for necessary correction. Now, the last reason behind the therapeutic incompatibility is drug interaction. So in drug interaction, the effect of one drug is altered by the prior or simultaneous administration of another drug. So in this case, when we administered two or more drugs simultaneous or prior to the drug, so they can interact with each other and form undesirable or sometimes toxic product which can be harmful. So the drug interaction can usually corrected by the proper adjustment of dose if the suspected interaction is detected. So these drug interaction can be corrected by the dose adjustment or the time of administration adjustment. So to understand the drug interaction, we can take an example, that is tetracycline 250 mg capsule, and the direction to administration is take one capsule every 6 hours with milk. So in case tetracycline is inactivated by calcium which is present in milk, because tetracycline form complexation with calcium and then form unabsorbable complex. So tetracycline capsule should not be taken with milk. So in this prescription, the therapeutic incompatibility is unintentional. So this type of prescription refer back to the prescriber and change the direction. So this is the brief overview about chemical incompatibilities and therapeutic incompatibilities. Thank you.